it be, what it be, what it do, what it do. It's your host, Dave, with the Dave and Blue Show. Tell your mama, your cousin, and your bro to like, share, and subscribe to the Dave and Blue Show. The University of Michigan football team just annihilated the Central Michigan Chippewas 63-3. That's wild. Much more than I asked for, than I could have thought we were going to score. I will take it. Okay? I will take it. That was good. That was a good get right game. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So let's start off here. We're going to go over the keys that we hit and missed and look at some of the stats and then kind of talk through things a little bit. Caveat being obviously a Central Michigan, but we've struggled to blow out the teams that we should blow out in the first place before. 2023 Bowling Green, it was only like 30-13. You know, JJ had 3 interceptions that game, and everyone's like, oh, the world is going to end and the sky is falling. But Bryce Underwood and the Michigan Wolverines, 63-3 against Central Michigan. A great way to come back from a devastating loss at Oklahoma. That's a thing of the past now. Yes, it's part of the season. Let's just not look at that anymore. All right, so this week, week 3, starting on our offensive keys, right? Let's talk about the offensive keys. My first key was that the offensive line needed to get back in rhythm, right? The offensive line needed to get that cohesion back, get back in rhythm. We had to shuffle some people around because we had injuries that were just disclosed, today and yesterday. So we had the starting lineup was Crippen, Link, Sprague, Guarnera, and I believe Ifobi was out there as well. So, but the offensive line looked pretty good. I'm not going to lie, they did. Obviously, it's Central Michigan, so you're going to get more push. But Bryce Underwood had time today, and the running backs got some holes. So I think, shuffling people in is a big deal, too, because you can see how these linemen play. And, yeah, it's not against the greatest opponent since it's Central Michigan. But these guys who haven't played a lot, Guarnera, and I think Avery Gatz was in the game a little bit because we were up by so much. I think Fraser probably got in, too. I mean, we had some guys shuffling and rotating. The line was getting good push, and, we were able to move the ball a lot. Obviously, it's Central Michigan, but, again, we were able to move the ball. So, first key, offensive line getting in rhythm. You'd love to have the starters in, but, some of them were injured, so we just had to make do. And obviously we have good backups anyway because offensive line is a key here in Michigan. So, offensive line play, got their rhythm, I don't think we allowed a sack. But yeah, that goes to my next point. How I said free Bryce? They freed him. They freed Bryce today. That was the second point, was making sure that Bryce Underwood got a chance to really play and really get something done today, throwing the ball and running the ball. So 16 for 25, 235 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's solid, okay? This next part, the rushing attempts, 9 rushing attempts, 114 yards, and 2 touchdowns. No fumbles. That's crazy, right? 9 rushing attempts and 114 yards is absolutely insane. So, sure, it's Central Michigan, but for him to get actually started, running the ball and them allowing him to, that's perfect. That's what we need going into Big Ten play. So, I don't know if it was a confidence thing on his part or a confidence thing on the coaching staff's part, but they let him run the ball today. It was scrambles, there were some designed runs, and he kept it under 10 carries, so that's solid, He was able to get some good throws in. He had a touchdown pass to Samaj Morgan. Shout out Samaj. He had a, I don't know what the route was. I'd say probably like a corner or something like that. But it was a deep corner or something like that type of route. And it was like a 40-yard or 30-yard catch for a touchdown. So shout out Samaj, man. He got his, I think that may have been his first touchdown of the season now that I think about it. But that was awesome. So Bryce Underwood was spreading the ball around too. A lot of guys had catches. So this part and also the receiving part, major key, kind of go hand in hand, right? Bryce spreads the ball around to different receivers. Samaj had 4 catches, 69 yards and a touchdown. Hansen had 3 catches, 43 yards. McCulley, 3 catches, 36 yards. Goodwin, 3 catches for 33 yards. Marsh, 1 catch for 30 yards. He also had a 23-yard rushing touchdown. And then Marlon Klein, 1 catch for 8 yards. And also, I'm pretty sure that he also had that sweet shovel pass to Justice Haynes, which was just kind of on a whim because the play got broken down. But Justice Haynes was kind of there in pass protection, but also kind of peeling out to do a little route just so that Bryce could have an option. And Bryce flips him the ball forward, like just tosses it right to him, and they gained like 15. It was beautiful, incredible. So they freed Bryce today. Everyone's been saying, "Oh, you got a Lambo, you got a Ferrari, you got a Bugatti in your garage. You got to drive it." And they let Bryce work today. They let him do his thing. So going forward, I am not going to speculate on who was calling the plays or who wasn't for this game. But if that is my next key, which was Chip Lindsey opening up the playbook, if that was him opening up the playbook, I'll take it. If we have the offense humming like this, obviously, again, the caveat being it's Central Michigan, but still, who cares? It's the opponent we played. It's the team we played against. They're on the schedule. They got to get this work. So, tune-up game or not, because on the flip side of that, had we struggled against Central Michigan, then everyone would be like, oh, Bryce Underwood's a buzz. Oh, Michigan's going to be terrible. Oh, you guys can't win any. Like, no. So, you can't have it both ways. So, we beat down on Central Michigan. I was hoping for just 42-3 or something like that. I said 45-3, right? We almost scored 20 points more than that. That's insane. So, so the keys on offense were hit. Opening up the playbook, freeing Bryce Underwood, offensive line getting in rhythm, and our minor key, our 4th point, that's going to be our minor key. Always the 4th point is going to be the minor key. A minor key on defense and a minor key on offense. The minor key was Jordan Marshall. Jordan Marshall, get this, 10 rushes, 52 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5.2 yard average. I'll take that. That's good. He also got a 30-yard touchdown that was called back for holding. So he theoretically, had that not been a holding, he could have had 3 touchdowns, 82 yards, and we're looking at, okay, there we go. I mean, obviously the 2 touchdowns is great. I'm not knocking that. So Jordan Marshall hit his point. So really, honestly, as far as offense goes, we hit all of our major keys for this week and the minor key as well. So, hey, I mean, at that point, you're composing. At that point, you're hitting all your major keys and the minor key. So we did it. I'll take it. That's a great performance, and winning by 60 points, dude. We haven't won. I think the last time we won a game by that much was probably Rutgers in like 2015 or 2016 when we beat them 78-0. I have not seen us blow a team out like that in a long time, and I'm here for it. I loved it, quite honestly. Shoot. I will take it. I'll take it. Because if for no other reason, then it gives you confidence moving into next week against Nebraska where you're not going to put up 60 points. But you know, okay, our offense is moving and Bryce is finally being given the chance to operate, you know. So you freed Bryce, you opened up the playbook. If this is how the offense is supposed to look or is going to look moving forward, and it'll be interesting to see later on in the season as we get past Nebraska, once we get into these next few games after Nebraska, if the offense continues to look like that, then either they were hiding the playbook for Big Ten play and keeping Bryce under lock, under wraps before we got into Big Ten play, or the offensive play calling was being handled by a mixture of Sharon and Chip Lindsey. Either way, regardless, I'm just happy that we actually looked like an offense this week and not like last week. So I'll take it. I don't care if it was a bad opponent. You still need to win the game because everyone would be up in arms if we were losing the game or if it was close. Probably me included in the emotions of the moment. I would have had to go back and rewatch. I'm going to go back and rewatch the game regardless. But anyway, you know, because I went back and rewatched the Oklahoma game too, even though we lost. So, yeah. So, offensive keys were all met. I'll take it. Overall, as far as our keys go, I'll give that I didn't really look for receivers blocking that much. And we did have some drops, so that brings it down. If I had to grade as far as our keys were going and as far as how the performance turned out in light of those keys, I almost said A+, but that's overly. We still turned the ball over. And Bryce's interception, while it was not necessarily a good throw, because he was off balance and he's sprinting to the side, to the right, and he launches it to Kendrick Bell and he underthrows it. So, it's a bad throw, but hey, he needed to get his pick. He needed an interception to come at some point just to get it out of the way. I'll take it being against Central Michigan because the defense held them and only gave up 3 points. So, I'll take it. So, I'll give the offense an A. I don't care. I'll give them an A. Because they hit everything we needed to see. I needed to see. I'll give them an A. Now, is it against Central Michigan? Yes. So, the curve of it being a lesser team probably curves it up. It's really probably like a B+ that moved up to an A because of grade. But either way, yeah, we'll give it an A. We'll give it an A. Offense, good job. There we go. Clap it up. Yes, sir. We lit. Yeah. All right. So now, moving on to the defense, right? We're moving on. Oh, before we get there, though, I want to say we scored a lot of rushing touchdowns. They said we have 8 rushing touchdowns. I'm going to read off some of this really quickly. So, we had, listen to this. We had Bryce Underwood accounted for 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 passing. Justice Haynes had a touchdown and 1 that was called back. Jordan Marshall had 2 touchdowns. Jasper Parker, my guy Jasper Parker scored a touchdown. Shout out to the freshman, the true freshman. He got it done. He got a touchdown in today. Bryson Cusdahl scored a touchdown. Andrew Marsh got a touchdown. And Samaj Morgan scored a touchdown. And if he didn't get excited and look upfield before he caught it on that out or on that flat route or the screen earlier in the game, he would have had another touchdown. So, shout out to the offense, really. It was really good. We had 616 total yards of offense. That's more than it's not double, but it's not almost double. It's way more than the highest amount of total yards we had on offense last year. Last year, our highest amount of total offense was 435 total yards against Arkansas State, and 301 of that was rushing. Now, to be fair, right, today we had 381 rushing yards and 235 passing yards, but it's still balanced at least. And most of the rushing yards came after the first half, after we already had built up the lead. So we'll take it. You just bludgeon them to death as you keep going later on when you're already up. Don't put the ball in harm's way. So overall, yeah, the offense did their thing. That's what we were hoping for. I couldn't have asked for anything more, quite honestly. 50 points. No, they said we're gonna win by 60. I'll take it. Let's go. That's awesome. So now we're going to move on to the defensive keys, right? How do we hit our defensive keys, and what was the grade for the defense? So, our keys for defense were limit penalties. Now, I didn't get an exact number of penalties we had, but I think we had like a face mask call is something that they said. We had a face mask call. But other than that, there weren't, I don't believe, too many, if not any, defensive penalties. So we hit the defensive penalties part. Defensive line still needs work, unfortunately. All of our pressure came from Jayshawn Barham. Jayshawn Barham is incredible. That dude, he was all over the place. He had 2 sacks and 6 tackles. And one of his sacks, he just straight tossed their quarterback, like wrapped him up and just threw him down. I loved it. Jayshawn Barham, he's elite. He's awesome. Jayshawn Barham was flying around. He really impacts our defense. Because our defense looked even better and different even last week against Oklahoma once he came in. There was just more fire and pursuit once he's out there. He's just flying around. So Jayshawn Barham gives the defensive MVP of the day. Jayshawn Barham is the truth, man. He's going to build his draft stock a lot. Yeah, it's Central Michigan, but still. I mean, come on. He was flying around. So defensive line pressure still needs work. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what was going on with Derek Moore, but I think either he's still hurt or he's not playing as fast as he was or something, because I'm watching the game and I just keep seeing him just not there, kind of. He's there. He's playing in the game, but he's not flying around at all. He's not hitting. He had a sack. He literally had their quarterback wrapped up and just fell off of him. Like, didn't bring him down. I don't know what went on there. And then another play where they almost scored, but because they got down near the goal line, but our defense held them, and they did a read option, and Derek Moore just straight crashed down on the running back, didn't even look at the quarterback. He turns and looks at the quarterback when the quarterback's already around his shoulder, like already by him, like he's not getting there. So I have no clue if he's hurt or if he's still getting into the swing of things. I'm not sure. But needed to see more from Derek Moore. I think Rayshon Benny got a tackle today, but yeah, our defense and Trey Williams got a good defensive. He swatted down a pass from their quarterback. I'll say too, to start the game off, I think the first play of the game, Jayshawn Barham got a sack on their first play of the game for defense. So I mean, again, Jayshawn Barham, A+, like MVP, defensive MVP of the game. Yeah, we're gonna come up with a nickname for our offensive and defensive MVPs of the game. Comment down below what you guys think we should call our MVPs. I got a couple ideas, but we'll see. But yeah, so defensive line pressure still needs work, but they didn't give up anything. I mean, it's not like they gave up some rushing yards. That's another thing that we're gonna have to fix, though, is rushing yards from quarterbacks. Flores, the quarterback for Central Michigan, he had 76 rushing yards. You can't give up 76 rushing yards to a quarterback from Central Michigan, y'all. I'm sorry. But, yeah. He didn't score, though. And the defense, to be fair, the defense was locked down. I mean, Central Michigan only had 139 total yards for the whole game. So I'm not really complaining. I can't, there's nothing to complain about. I'm just saying, as far as our key goes, for the defensive line getting pressure, I didn't see it. I'm going to go back and rewatch the game, but I didn't see the defensive line back there like that. I mean, this defensive line these last few years has been astounding, so we may really just have been spoiled because Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham were in the backfield every play against every team all of last year, which is why they were both first-round picks and top 15 picks at that. So, I mean, there was going to be a drop-off, I guess. I just didn't think the drop-off would be this steep. I don't think TJ Guy played today. I don't know if he was hurt or if they just held him, but I didn't see TJ Guy outside at all on the field. So, Nate Marshall and Dom Nichols played. They did well, but Nate Marshall got rolled up on someone rolled up on his ankle or something, but then they said he had a knee brace on the sideline or something. I'm not sure, but I hope he's okay. These injuries, man, goodness, we've been getting injured like crazy this year. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So defensive line pressure is still not there. Like, our pressure is coming when we bring 5 or bring a blitzing linebacker, because we got pressure with Troy Bowles. Troy Bowles pressured their quarterback, Lapis, and Flores. Troy Bowles forced a fumble, and he got some good hits on their quarterback. So all of our pressure keeps coming when we call blitzes. Jair Hill got a sack on a corner blitz. And Jayshawn Barham got a sack, and got 2 sacks. So all of our pressure is coming from outside or from either blitzes on the outside or linebacker blitzes. So we have to get pressure from that interior defensive line. I don't know, but we have to, just moving forward, just a little bit more at least. But yeah, so that's not going to get a good grade, unfortunately, for a defensive line. Getting depth. Defensive backs. Creating turnovers. Elijah Dotson got an interception. Shout out to E-Dot, man. Michigan's own. He's from Belleville High School. He's a baller. He got the turnover buffs today. Troy Bowles forced a fumble, and Manuel Beagle got the recovery. So shout out to him. So the defensive backs didn't get burned for any deep passes or anything. Jair got hit with a double move early in the game, but he recovered, and him and Hillman hit the receiver, and he missed, and he dropped it, obviously. So, I mean, hey, we didn't get beat deep for anything. We only gave up 139 yards, and 79 of those yards were rushing yards, and 60 were from passing. So the defensive backs played well, and they weren't even at full strength. Shamari Earls was out there. He got a great pass deflection breakup on, I believe, Central Michigan's one of their receivers. It was 81. I think it might have been their leading receiver, but Shamari Earls went up with a dude and knocked the ball out. It was tough. He's going to be good. Shamari Earls, he's wearing that too for a reason. He's going to be good. It was great to see him actually play because he was injured before. So, shout out to Shamari Earls, man. Elijah Dotson with the interception. Shout out Elijah Dotson, E-Dot, man. Sanders played well. He started again, I believe. Metcalf got a couple hits too. Like, Brandon Hillman got a really good hit on a run play and drove him back, and it was like 4th down, and he held on, and we were able to clean it up, and it was 4th and 2 or something like that, and they didn't get the first down. So the defensive backs played well, and that goes into our final point, which was the defense wrapping up. The defense was wrapping up, man. The defense was wrapping up today. I think we had 48 total tackles and 3 sacks, a forced fumble, and an interception. And the defense only gave up 139 total yards and 3 points. So, hey, as far as you could ask, is that the defense being, people being in different spots and that type of thing, the defense played well. So, I'll give the defensive performance minus the defensive line pressure. I'll give the defensive performance a B. I want to say B plus, but if I see a sack next week by a defensive lineman, I'll move it up. I'll probably add to that, but I'll say a B. The defense, screw it. I'll say B plus, and the curve being an interception. So B plus, raise it. It's an A minus. So B plus, B. So yeah. Last thing I want to say is special teams, right? So Samaj Morgan on punt returns is terrifying to me. I love Samaj Morgan. He is one of my favorite players on the team. I will probably buy his jersey at some point. I've been meaning to because that 0 is sweet. But his punt return habits are terrifying. Because he'll go to the ball after it's already bounced with defenders around and try and dive on it. Just like, bro, just relax. Just leave it. They can't recover it. Just leave it. Leave it. And there was multiple times today where he almost lost the ball or almost picked it up in a precarious spot. And it's terrifying. So, I don't know why he likes to take risks on punt returns. But we're not going to focus on that because it was a good game today. You know what? But that's something to look at moving forward. And also, Zavada missed a field goal. I think it was 47 yards or something like that. So it's not a short chip in. But also, he just kicked it straight. It didn't. He is at an angle. I'm not going to. I don't know. I'm just saying he missed a field goal. And that was shocking to me because Zavada, that's 2 weeks in a row he missed field goals. Not extra points, field goals. I've not seen him miss too many, so that's shocking to me. People were saying he had poor body language, like he looked down on the sidelines, like not looking. Well, he probably was looking down literally, but also like metaphorically, he just looked down like emotionally. So we'll see. Hopefully he's able to pick his head up and get out of the slump, or not even really a slump, just not getting in his head about it. We didn't punt. We didn't have to punt, so yeah. I don't think we punted. I don't think so. I'd have to go back. But we didn't punt. So, hey, I'll take it, man. Michigan Wolverines absolutely demolished Central Michigan Chippewa 63-3. Offense was good, defense was good, special teams was okay, but hey, you live and you learn, man. I'll take it. I'm happy. I have no complaints about this game. No complaints. Just yeah. Hey, go blue, man. I'll take it. 63-3. I mean, how you gonna complain about a 60-point win? I'm not gonna be one to complain about a 60-point win. I'll take it. Shoot. I'll take it. So hey, thank you guys. Thank you for all the love, support. Comment below. Let me know some stuff, man. Tell your mom, your cousin, and your bro to like, share, and subscribe to the Dave and Blue Show. We lit! Yeah! Let's get it.